James Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is a classic commentary on religion, intellectualism, and Irish culture. But more than anything, it's an autobiographical novel, Joyce's attempt to rationalize the world that he lived in.
Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the centre cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming.
Stephen functions not only as the main character in The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, but also as Joyce in fictional form. Stephen is put into a family identical to Joyce. His mother is a strong Catholic, and father struggles to provide for the family. The autobiographical writing style allows Joyce to include actual moments within the fiction scenes. Stephen's encounter with the prostitute and joyful sinning coming from this occurrence was an impactful moment in Joyce's life. His exposure of this sinful act reveals the beginning of Joyce's questioning of where his faith and salvation stood in the eyes of the Catholic Church. Joyce attended the same schools as Stephen, beginning at the elite boarding school Clongwoods, where he strives to remain unnoticed and out of the eye of the priest. Moving on to Belvedere and University College marked his transition to using reason and intellectuality over religion. This is confirmed when he rejects the offer of becoming a priest, enduring his mother's horror and society's shame, and chooses free thinking over order and structure.
Well, I heard there was
Hell is a straight, dark, and foul-smelling prison, an abode of demons and lost souls, filled with fire and smoke. The straightness of this prison house is expressly designed by God to punish those who refuse to be bound by his laws. In earthly prisons, the poor captive has at least some liberty of movement, were it only within the four walls of his cell or in the gloomy yard of his prison. Not so in hell.
The strict Catholicism of his family leads him to believe that every action the Church performs is the true intention of God. The extreme opposites regarding religion face him beginning at the first Christmas dinner, where he is allowed to sit at the adult table. Mr. Dallas commends those who argue against the priest's involvement in Irish politics, while Dante scaves at his approval of Catholics who challenge the Church. This argument foreshadows the struggle Stephen will face in his life in the two extremes of devout Catholicism or defying and giving into sin completely. He initially turns his back on religion, but remains aware of his repeated sinning. Through the school restitution, he asks God for forgiveness and becomes a devout member of the Catholic Church, to the point of being noticed as priest-like by his fellow fathers. Finally, when given the option to continue his life of obedience, Stephen resists, marking his transition into becoming a true artist.
tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. Now let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming in tails, heads on the sides apart.
Joyce's life is set in a period of religious and political strife between Ireland and Great Britain. Ireland, where the story is based, had been under English rule since the 1500s. The majority of Irish were Catholics and favored Ireland's autonomy, whereas the remaining Protestants wished to remain connected with Great Britain.